Yo, what's going on, guys? And today we'll be doing the Houston Rockets off-season preview for 2026. I want to hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are you guys thinking and why the Houston Rockets, who went 52 and 30, need to do this off-season? Let me know everything and hit that like and subscribe button. Help out the channel a ton as we're on the way to 20,000. I can't get there without your guys' help. So let's discuss what I find interesting. The team has the 53rd pick in this year's draft. Fred VanVleet has a player option of $25 million. It is expected that he'll pick that up unless they tell him decline it and we'll sign you to a multi-year deal that's fully guaranteed. Tari Eason is a restricted free agent that they have his bird rights. Jeff Green's unrestricted. So is Aaron Holiday and Jae'Sean Tate, but they have the bird rights to all three of them. Now, Josh Okogie and Isaiah Crawford are both free agents as well, non-bird rights, but Crawford is a restricted free agent, and J.D. Davison has a $2.6 million player option. Now, if you guys weren't following, the Golden State Warriors beat them in 7 last year, and then this year, Houston decided, hey, we're going to turn Jalen Green and Dylan Brooks into Kevin Durant, bring in Dorian Finney-Smith, Josh Okogie, Clint Capella, extend Steven Adams, bring back Fred VanVleet, Aaron Holiday, Jeff Green, and Jae'Sean Tate. Be a team that wants to become the contenders. Fred VanVleet tore his ACL before the season started. Steven Adams suffered a season-ending ankle injury in January and had to get surgery. Dorian Finney-Smith and Clint Capella weren't a part of the rotation. I think Clint showed a little bit more life, but Dorian Finney-Smith at times, man, it was rough. Durant missed only 4 games during the regular season, but played 1 game in the first round with Durant out. Houston in the series started the second youngest lineup in NBA history. Reed Shepard, Amen Thompson, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., and Alperen Sengun. Now the Rockets must enter the offseason with more roster questions than answers. Houston doesn't have a 2026 first-round pick, but has 10 players under contract for next season, including the starting 5 who finished the season. The team, who should also get a boost with the return of Fred VanVleet, who has a $25 million player option for the 26-27 season, has until June 29th to opt into his contract. There will be decisions on former first-round picks Tari Eason and Amen Thompson. Eason's a restricted free agent that they can offer a qualifying sheet to and match any offer sheet that's given to him. And it's qualifying tender, my apology, and match any offer sheet that is given to them, while Amen Thompson is rookie extension eligible until the start of the season. And finally, what did the Rockets learn about their roster in the postseason games without Kevin Durant? Before Game 6, the lineup of Reed Shepard, Amen Thompson, Tari Eason, Jabari Smith, and Sengun was plus 18.6 points per 100 possessions per cleaning the glass. And Durant is entering year 1 of a 2-year, $90 million extension that he signed last offseason. Extensions for Durant and Jabari Smith have left Houston with $185 million in salary roster next season. That's $15 million below the tax, $25 million below the first apron, which if they get to that, that's some punitive penalties. The availability of the $15 million non-tax mid-level exception is dependent on Tari Eason's restricted free agency outcome. Will he get it? Will somebody else? It starts with Ime Udoka. Is he the right coach? Houston won 52 games for the second straight year, but went 22 and 23 in clutch games and were ousted by an undermanned Lakers team that was led by LeBron James, who's 41, and Luke Kennard. The argument for Udoka is how Houston dealt with adversity after blowing a late lead in Game 3 and putting themselves in that 3-0 hold that historically is impossible to come back from. Without Durant, Houston won 2 games with the same young. Game 3, they showed growth and progress in certain moments. Next is Fred VanVleet, the man that can fix an offense that was ranked 20th during the regular season and was the 4th worst in the playoffs. Will he be the orchestrator to the symphony that needs some structure. With VanVleet in the lineup last season, Houston ranked 12th in offense and went 26-18 in clutch games with VanVleet running the show. And finally, what is the price point on a Tari Eason contract? He'll get tendered a 1-year, $8 million qualifying offer by June 29th, allowing Houston to match any offer sheet a team extends them. Through January, Eason was averaging 12 points per game on 48% shooting and 48% from three. But in the 34 games since February 1st, Eason saw his averages drop to 9 points per game, 38% shooting from the field and 26% on threes. And I will say Tari Eason's one of the best defenders in the league, but one of the things that you need to understand, yes, he's made incredible progress with that left offhand. Basically, he was like a guy who all the time would use his dominant hand as just literally dribbling heavily right-handed, but I think over the years he's worked on that left hand. Still not like he goes occasionally more now left than he would always go right. Thompson, the only Rocket eligible this offseason, can sign a 5-year deal until the day before the regular season. The extension that a guy like Thompson, who averaged a career high in minutes, points, assists, and rebounds, and only trails 76ers Tyrese Maxey's in minutes played this season across the entire association. In Thompson's final 22 games of the regular season, he averaged almost 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 5.5 assists per game. For the season, 70% of his points were scored inside the paint. Defensively, opponents shot 42.8% when Thompson was the closest defender per Genius IQ. That ranked 15th among 188 players who defended at least 500 attempts in the regular season. They need a point guard, this team. And if VanVleet's healthy, that could be the thing. But we also need to see development from Shepard. We need to see development from shooting in Thompson and Şengün. The Rockets need to find a 3-and-D wing unless they believe Dorian Finney-Smith can bounce back and fill that role. I also do believe I like Aaron Holiday, but finding a reserve point guard who can facilitate and play off ball would be great for this team. And a guy, I mean, Kobe White would be the dream, but they cannot afford him. So somebody of that caliber, would that be a Colin Sexton? The Houston Rockets have 5 open roster spots. We assume that 1 second-round pick, so a little bit 4. They have their own first-round pick in the next 7 years, starting in 2027, and can trade up to 4 of them. They have 6 second-round picks available, and for the future first-rounders owed to the Rockets, the 2027 swaps rights with Brooklyn, the 2027 unprotected via Phoenix, and 2 most favorable between their own, Dallas and Phoenix, in 2029. So if you made it to the end, I'd like to hear what you guys have to say. And yeah, I think it's definitely going to be incredibly interesting how they fix this. Also, I've been listening to Zig Ziglar, which is like a guy who was one of the greatest salespeople in American history, and as a result, he has these like really good books and speaking things. I guess you'd call them speaking seminars. Really, it's just the audio books I'm listening to, but they're like motivational help books. Not that I need motivation, but I find it rather interesting. And he says you need to talk with inflection in your voice and make people understand what you're trying to say. And that if you talk with a little bit more point of emphasis on certain words, then people will be hung to the edge of their seats. Do you guys find it annoying? Or should I just kind of play a little bit looser? Lay back. Make it seem like I ain't talking in a rhythm. That's it. If you made it to the end, like, comment, and subscribe.